Hello, hello, and welcome to the broadcast. Jalia Pettis here. I am your host for today's episode of the Style Exhibition, and I am so excited to introduce you all to Angelia Malbrew. Now, I have to say that when we first met, before we actually met in person, when I heard her name, I was like, I've never met anybody whose name sounded similar.
Mhm.
So I know we're gonna kick it off. I know we're gonna kick it off. And then when we met and we started talking, and I heard her Southern draw and realized that she had roots in Mississippi, I was like, yep, we are totally going to
Yes,
hit it
ma'am.
off. So I have to welcome you. Thank you so much, Angelia, for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. You know, this Southern girl, I try to hide it a little bit, but she comes out.
Hey, I'm all for it coming out. I feel like sometimes we got to let her just rule and reign, you
We
know.
do.
So
We do.
make it do what it do.
She's making a
Okay,
grand
so
appearance in
let's
24.
jump right into it.
Let's go.
Now, I'm sure you guys can probably see from the video, but Angelia is a photographer. Her business name is Angelia Malbrew Photography. So, talk to us a little bit about your journey as a creative and what made you decide to enter the space of photography.
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question. Well, let's go back a few years. I've had my camera, not this one, but I had my first camera. I think I was between the ages of 12 and 14. That was like a pivotal point for me. It was gifted to me by my dad, and I'm like, okay, I love this. This is something I want to do. So I started photographing all my friends at school. I got some pictures in there right now. If I go pull them out, I'm gonna make some people upset. And so it's just something that kind of stuck with me. And I went and I actually saw my senior book a few days ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, photography is what I said I wanted to do in cosmetology. But I love hair, but unfortunately, this whole thing with photography, it took me in a different direction, but I'm here for it and I'm happy about it.
So, if you had to put yourself within a genre or a niche, what type of photography would you say that you specialize in?
Oh, you know what? I feel like I built my own niche. It's luxury portrait photography. Not that other people don't do it, but for me, being able to not only provide the aesthetic, but also the feel of luxury, because you and I work together quite frequently. And what you should know about me, if you don't know me, is that I aim to make all my clients feel happy, supported, loved, and empowered.
So, when she says luxury, let's let her explain what that is, because I am all for creating your own. Uh, in every sense of the word, I'm all for creating your own. So, like, were there certain types of photography that you tried and you feel like, nah, this ain't it? Or maybe you did try and say, oh, I want a little bit of this and I want a little bit of that. Like, what kind of encompasses luxury photography?
Okay, so for me, when I first started, I was just doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And when I decided to get serious was when I had a really bad experience when I got married. So I hired this celebrity photographer to show up, and he didn't. He ended up sending some people
I
I
know this
didn't.
story. So you gotta elaborate. Just give them a little bit.
Yes.
You ain't gotta share no names.
I
But
won't
yes.
share any names, but I hired this celebrity photographer. I'd known him for years, and I'm like, "Hey, I need you." He was like, "Yeah, Angelia, don't worry, I got you." I paid this guy an extra little stipend for him to show up. He did not. The day of my wedding, I came out. I'm checking out the venue, looking at everything, which I was supposed to be in my suite, so that would have been a shocker had I not gone out there and kind of assessed that first. But it was some guys there. The venue owner was like, Angelia, your photographer here. I'm like, no, they're not. That's not him. And she was like, stop, because she knew I'm a joker. I like to play. I like to have a good time. And she was like, no, I'm serious. They said that they're here for you. I said, I don't know them. Those are my words. I don't know them. I'm calling him on the phone. I'm running back there. My coordinator's like, no, Angelia, I need you to call now. I was like, no, I don't know them. They can't be here. I'm calling him. He never picks up the phone. I'm like, okay, you know what? We're at this day. It's storming outside. Let's just make the best of it. Ended up getting those guys to do my wedding. I got 1,600 images that were not favorable to me. I have over 250 of just one bridesmaid. I have images that I specifically asked for that I did not get. And so going through that horrible experience, I mean, the guys that did the shoot, they're very nice. I'm actually following one of them on social media right now. But going through that entire experience, it made me know what I didn't want and what I didn't want people to experience. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna do weddings. And to this date, I've only done one wedding, and if you find that wedding online, you are a good girl. But I did not publicize it because it's not something I want to be known for. I love weddings and the aesthetic and all of that. But for me, I wanted a more one-on-one experience with clients. I wanted to bring them through, let's pamper you. Let's make this all about you. Even though weddings are all about the bride, you still have a lot of moving mechanics behind the scenes. So for me, I wanted to be able to have one-on-one time. Let me talk. Let me get to know her. Let me know what makes her happy. Let me know everything about you that's going to make this session different. Like, what have you experienced before? What colors look beautiful on you? What do you feel beautiful in? And so getting to know women one-on-one has changed the entire trajectory for me and my business, because it lets women know, yes, you may be over 40, or yes, you may be a mom, a sister, a wife, a cousin, but you're not forgotten about. So I specialize in bringing women from forgotten to the forefront.
So would you say then that that is one of your specialties then, is working specifically in empowering women?
Absolutely. It
Okay.
is the foundation of what I do.
And all stemmed from your bridal experience.
It's a triggering moment, but you know what? We're getting through it. We're getting we made it. We got through it, but it is something that definitely changed my life and my career.
Have you ever thought about redoing your bridal experience?
Oh, absolutely. When you came to my studio, I actually had one of the 2 wedding dresses that I had, and I plan to do a new and improved, glammed up version of the bridal session. It's also something that I offer. I don't publicize it a lot, but I do offer glam to dress sessions for women that have gone through similar experiences like me. So they can come back, they can get, the beautiful version of something they will be proud to put on their wall. So absolutely. So I think I might have to hire you to come do like the video, behind the scenes of let's do this glam dress session for me.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Now, with working with women, and I know that from personal experience that you work with a diverse group of women as far as like socioeconomic status, age, ethnicity, but do you feel like there is something specific that when a woman sees your work, or when she has an experience with you, that you kind of feel like it's something that you keep hearing repeated?
I would have to say the words that come to me when you ask me that question are, I haven't done this in 20 years, or I haven't had a professional photo shoot in years, or I've never had an experience like this before. So being able to bring that out of women, it's everything for me, because a lot of people, they feel like they have to fit this status quo in order to be photographed. You don't have to be a size 2. Right? You don't have to be blonde. You don't have to be a skinny mini. Like, you can come as you are. You can just come and be yourself and be comfortable in the skin that you're in. So I think that's one of the most things that I hear about, the experience after we've done the shoot is like, I needed this.
And how long have you been in photography?
Oh gosh, like I said, I haven't had a camera since I was 14, but I initially started my business back in 2000, or originally started in 2018.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say is, because this is one question that I ask everybody, how would you describe your personal style?
Oh, I would have to say glam with a little razzle dazzle. Because you got to add that little sparkle at the end. Yeah, I want everything about my business, about my brand to just exude luxury feel, beautiful, glam, like this is something I've never experienced before type thing.
So do you feel like your personal brand, as the things that you like, your personal style, coincide with your actual business brand?
Oh, 100%. Even with my headshots, like I don't do regular headshots. Like everything is, it's a step above. And so that's something that I pride myself on, is taking my things, my experiences, the session, the photography to the next level for every client.
So when you hear the word brand, because
Mhm.
I feel like that is a word that is overly used,
Yes, it is.
um, especially coming out of COVID. I feel like everybody was saying brand and
Yeah.
branding and not understanding what that truly, truly meant. So
Mhm.
with you as a photographer and understanding that you're doing something as far as empowering the individuals that are before your camera, what do you feel like that word means?
Oh God,
And how do
brand.
you incorporate it within your business overall?
Yeah, brand is more than just a logo. It's more than just the colors. It's more than just, you got a fancy website. It's everything about your business. It's the entire dynamic and DNA and makeup foundation from top to bottom about what you do, how you do it, and what separates you from everybody else. So I definitely feel like the word brand has been thrown around a lot, and a lot of people don't really know how to use it in the correct, proper context. And so I think we also need to get back to the point where we're educating each other about, certain things and making sure that we're not just showing up online any kind of way. So that's another thing that, I feel like I excel in, is doing, personal branding and helping people develop their brand. Like, let's break this down. Like, do you know what your colors mean? Do you know what this stands for? Like, what do your fonts say to other people? So I can get real deep in that, but we ain't gonna go.
Get deep. Because look, this is one thing that I have said for a really, really long time, especially when it comes to people that consider themselves to be business owners or entrepreneurs, or
Hmm.
even speakers in some aspects. How are you presenting yourself to everybody?
Absolutely.
Like the camera phone shots as your headshot?
Tragic. I actually did an entire webinar, and I think I'm gonna do a watch party. I'm gonna let it replay again. I did a webinar called From Selfies to Success, because we've got to get away from this bathroom selfie. We got to get away from taking selfies in the car. I mean, it's
Oh,
cute when you're doing a little video for TikTok, but when you
right.
are an entire CEO brand owner, your brand and these videos and these things that you're putting on social media, they're gonna outlive us all. So make sure it's good. And so we've got to get away from that, just throwing it. And oh, let me just say this. Let's stop throwing stuff in Canva, removing the background, saying it's a professional headshot. Let's stop
Oh,
that. That's not professional. Let's stop that. I don't care what these gurus are telling you. It's not professional. Hire a professional, get it done right. That way you don't have to worry about that. Like, get an entire branding package and get with somebody that understands your brand to help bring the best out of you and your business. Because that little box that you have on social media with your face in it, that's your digital calling card. And people, they make a decision split second when they see that if they're going to do business with you. I don't care what these gurus are telling you. Stop doing that, because you're tearing up your reputation. And it's disrespectful
it is so disrespectful.
to us that work very hard to make sure we have a professional brand. Please stop doing that.
Or a super, super, super busy background. It's
Yes,
like me taking a photo
with
on.
that. I was just, I was going to say, what the paint in the back? Like, what is
Oh,
that about? Unless you're selling paint, don't do that. And
right.
even if you are, make sure it's aesthetically pleasing.
What
We
does
said it.
that
We said it.
mean? What does aesthetically pleasing mean? As a photographer, tell them.
It has to be all about the look. What do you see? Are you bringing out the best that you can do with, okay, we just gonna start here. Just say your brand colors are black and gold, right? Stop showing up to other things not representing your brand, because just if you're coming online, if you're doing backdrops, if you're doing anything that has direct correlation with your business, make sure that everything is in brand alignment. Make sure you are not putting stuff that's not pleasing to your brand out there. Make sure you're showing up the way you should show up. And when you're adding things, even on your social media, make sure all of the colors, everything is aligned, because you want to make sure you're presenting this thing in a, it's almost like wrapping a package. You would never put a bow on a package upside down. Make sure everything looks nice and it's tied up all pretty with a bow.
Look,
Make it make sense.
now, let me just go just a little step further, because one thing that I have to really commend you on is the consistency of what you're saying. Like, she shows up on social media, and how you see her background right now, like, the text is always that font. It's not 5 different fonts every single time. She always has the teal tone,
Yes.
white or black as an accent. Every, like,
You know it. You know it.
you know it's yours when you see that. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And so when you say Lux, you're creating an experience based off of what you're creating within your own brand itself. So I commend you for that, because you are definitely consistent where that is concerned.
And you have to be, and even in the whole psychology, because there's a psychology behind your colors and what you pick and your fonts and things like that. When I was picking my colors, they were significant to me, but I also went and researched those colors, because if you look at my teal, it reminds you of Tiffany blue. That screams luxury. Okay. Right. Black and white is always going to be a classic. And so for me, I did the black because I was ending all the other things that I had going on with my previous business, which was called Priceless Moments. And I said, this is a new beginning. This is a rebirth. And so the white is for the purification. And the teal is because a lot of people don't know this, but I am a thyroid cancer survivor. Teal is one of the colors from the cancer thyroid survivor color. So everything in my business means something to me, even down to the teal door handles on my car. I mean, I'm just saying everything. I'm all about brand.
Do you have teal door handles?
I do. I do.
Oh my God.
Look, it's all connected.
So you said that right now. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yeah. I'm for it. I got some glasses that, so my hashtag is I am my brand, for, and people here on Style Exhibition don't know that, but like, that's something that I've been, working on the registered portion of the trademark, but I have the legal portion of the trademark already underway. And I love that. I have it on the side of my glasses, even though nobody can see it.
I love that for you.
There. I know it's there. I know it's me representing at all times. But like, another thing you mentioned as far as like showing up and also personal style. I know for me, when I'm working, I look one way. Yes. And then if I'm educating or I'm speaking, I look another way. But I don't look so different that when you see my headshot, you don't recognize who I am.
Exactly. That's another thing I tell people all the time. When you're using these old 20-year-old pictures, you will show up to the party, to the networking event, to the engagement party, and people will not know who you are. We have got to stop that. Stop waiting 5, 10, 15 years to update your headshots and your personal brand, especially if you're in business, because that says a lot. If you're not taking the time to dedicate to updating your business, your profile, making sure your website, are you still rocking 22? Copyright 2022, get that off. I know we're in 24, but I saw some websites, and we have got to do better as business owners. And so I know you didn't ask me, but I'm gonna just go ahead and throw this little bit in here. People should be updating their pictures every 6 months to 12 months minimum.
That was my next question. So keep it going.
Minimum, because you know what? You change. You can change your hair. Your hair can grow out. You can dye your hair. You can gain weight. You can lose weight. But you need to make sure you're showing up as you are. Not saying you got to be prim and polished all the time. Sometimes you're going to post some pictures that might not be the best, but you also want to be able to tell a story when you're doing that. So I'll leave it right there.
I agree. I completely agree. Like, I did some shots in November and I cut my hair a lot from the last time of that. And I colored it because these grays is getting on my nerves. They're making
It's
it
all
look
right.
like I got
That's
a receding hairline when it's just really gray. I know I got a lot of forehead, but it's just really gray.
It's
Okay.
all right. It's all right for you.
You know, and then I have, you know, I've started to need glasses. So now I take some shots with my glasses and I take some without because
Yes.
I might have my glasses on, I might not. So I think all of that you're saying is very important. If you know that changes are happening with you physically, your images absolutely should be reflecting that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do my best with updating mine as much as I stay on everybody else. But I went and I did a photo shoot with one of my counterparts, and I went to Atlanta, did the shoot. It was an amazing experience, and it just brought me back to why I do what I do for other people, because this is something that is needed. And so I pride myself on, I'm gonna support other people, just like, they want support. I'm going to go and support, because, you can't be out here saying, oh, we're going to support all businesses and support Black businesses, but yet you're not supporting your people. That's not how life works. And so I try to spread love and, support as many as I can, but having professional branding is imperative.
So what projects are you currently working on that you can share with us?
Oh, I have a few projects going on right now. I'm glad you talked about the branding, because I have a new course coming out called Luxury Redefined. And what we're going to be doing in that course, we're going to be helping business owners, not just service-based, but service-based primarily, business owners to take their brands and businesses to the next level. So if they have been trying to figure things out, trying to figure out how not just to raise their prices, but adding something into the fold that makes sense, I want to work with those people. I want to work with a small business owner that says, you know what, Angelia, I know I have something good. I need to take this to the next level. I need to be able to provide a better experience for my clients, because I love luxury and I love giving an elevated experience. Who better to teach that? So it's going to be a 6-week course, and where we're going to go in, we're going to deep dive, we're going to break down what's happening in their business, where they want to see it go, and we're going to collaborate and figure out the best things we need to add to that business. The next thing I'm working on, because I have a few projects. One, I'm getting back to travel. So we're not just doing in-state travel, we're doing worldwide travel. So that's something that I announced to my subscribers a couple of days ago in my email. So if they have not jumped into my email, go ahead and do that. And then the 40 over 40 campaign is back. So I am photographing 40 women over the age of 40, and I plan to have all of them done hopefully by the spring. And once we get all of these ladies photographed, we're going to be able to come back and do an amazing gala, prayerfully in the fall. If we can get all of these ladies in and photographed, we're going to make it happen. And that's how we got right.
You got a lot going on. So we have the business branding classes. When do those start?
Those officially start February the 1st. That's going to be on a Thursday.
Okay. So February 1st. So yes. Can people join late? What is the stipulation on that?
So we have two options. So we have a do-it-yourself option, where you just go through the course and you just go at your own pace. And then we also have an option where you work with me one-on-one. So that's going to be a VIP, where I go in and I break down things that you're doing in your business. We look at what you're doing, and then we figure out, okay, this is what we need to X, this is what we need to add. And we just have an entire game plan of how they're going to move forward. And depending on when they get in there, they may even get, some free headshots for joining that VIP beta group, if they're in the state.
And then with the traveling, that's going to be basically you coming into a city in the state and you doing a photo shoot experience with whomever for a given couple of days or whatever. Do you have a first stop that you can possibly share?
Well, my first stop is definitely going to be Atlanta, because I have a amazing VIP brand ambassador program. And so what we added, because we enhanced the brand ambassador program, what we added was the people that join and they are like super and happy about being an influencer for us, we're going to give them the Elevate Your Brand package just because they are brand ambassadors. So
Okay.
our first stop will be Atlanta, and then we're going to go on to the Carolinas.
Okay. And then 40 over 40. So you're
Yes.
going to select 40 women to photograph for the 40 over 40 campaign. And then you're going to come back together and have a gala where all of those women come together and you kind of honor them.
Absolutely. That's
Okay.
exactly what we're doing.
Okay. She got a lot going on, y'all.
I do.
I'm for it. So how can people get in contact with you to either book a branding session, a photography session if you happen to be in their city, or if they're over 40 and they want to be a part of this experience? Give them all of the goods.
Absolutely. So you don't have to meet me in a city. You can book me and I will fly wherever you want. You book, we fly. Me and Jalia, we're on the way. The next thing is for the people that want to find me, I am Angelia Malbrew photography on all platforms with the exception of TikTok, and I'm just Angelia Malbrew photo over there.
Okay.
And my website is angeliamalbrewphotography.com.
.com. Good. Perfect. I'm glad you clarified that. Okay.
Yes.
Y'all heard it. This was good. You
It
gave a
was.
mouthful. Branding, photography. I love it. I love it. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. AngeliaMalbrewphotography.com. Y'all got all of the info. Thank you so much, Angelia, for being here with us. I feel like this went extremely fast.
It did, but it was so good.
We were just in the flow. But
That's
thank
how we
you
go.
so much for joining us.
Thank
I
you.
truly appreciate it. All right, I'm going to make sure that I have all of her information at the end of this video. So be sure to follow her and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. I am so honored.